Hello and welcome to Never Seen It, a podcast about movies we haven't seen yet. My name is Trent. Sitting here in the passenger seat is Betsy.
Vroom, vroom, baby!
We're back. 2 years ago, plus, we covered a little-known series called the Fast and Furious series. We watched all 10 movies.
We did Hobbs and Shaw.
We even watched Hobbs and Shaw.
That.
And guess what? There's another one.
Oh boy, you thought you were 2 months removed, you were safe, we weren't gonna watch it. You were wrong.
There's gonna be, 3 more of these before it's all done?
Listen, it was supposed to be this one and a part 2. And now they're saying it's going to be a trilogy.
Right, a trilogy of the ending. I compare this to that Hobbit trilogy that came out years and years ago.
Where they milked it as much as they could.
Yeah, they took one book and separated it out into 3 different movies that were very, very long. We only watched the first 2.
I've never read the Fast and Furious books, so I don't have an opinion about how much they're stretching it out.
The extended universe of the Fast and Furious. Yeah, so, Betsy, we're watching Fast X, if we haven't said it already, or Fast 10.
I don't know what it's called.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's kind of like...
It's the 10th one.
It's kind of like when Apple put out the iPhone X or 10. Nobody knew what that one was either.
The correct version.
No, they probably told us at one point. I don't care. When I read it, that's what matters. Anyway, Betsy, what do you know about this here 10th movie?
So I'm working under the assumption that everybody who was in 9 is coming back.
Okay.
The only new people I know about are Jason Momoa and Brie Larson. And I think, as far as Jason Momoa is concerned, we are doing further retconning some
5.
events that happened in 5.
Yeah, so apparently when you recall the plot of 5, it was a big heist movie. And they stole a vault of money or jewels or gold or whatever the fuck it was. It doesn't matter. It made them filthy rich. But Jason Momoa was there. Maybe that was his money, or he was like,
I was in the background the whole time, and you just didn't see me.
Exactly, and they are completely retconning that thing. I have no idea where Brie Larson comes in, but I know she's in this.
Yep. As far as other things, no idea. I don't know. Did John Cena come back for this one?
I think so. And from what I've heard...
Because he was introduced as his brother that we definitely knew existed up to this point.
Yeah, and from what I heard, something happens to him. I won't say anything here. But as far as the rest of the cast, I know all the main people come back. I have no idea about Helen Mirren. They teased Jason Statham coming back at the end of 9.
Yeah, I think he is back, and I think Helen Mirren is also back.
Yeah.
They just keep adding. We're not taking people away. We're just going to keep adding.
We'll see.
Han's alive. He's back. We're going to have him around. And then as far as like the actual plot, it's Jason Momoa getting some kind of revenge.
Sure.
There's going to be some street racing. And listen, we watched the entirety of this fucking series, and we had submarines, and we had, outer space.
Yeah, they went to space.
We're kind of running out of options, so I think we gotta get like a live volcano or something at this point.
So think back in our original series, we were kind of surmising, okay, what else is there to do? They need to go to other countries. They need to drive up a pyramid.
Aliens. Okay, maybe we'll get the pyramid. Yeah. Maybe we'll get aliens. I don't know.
Here's the deal, though. If you're setting up a trilogy to end this entire series,
the finale,
you have to set it up. You can't just have a standalone movie. You have to introduce what the conflict is for the rest of the series. Is Jason Momoa the big bad that after they defeat him, everything is okay? Or is Jason Momoa the bad guy going to kill off one of the characters?
I think someone's dying in this.
Somebody's got to die.
I don't know who. I think one of the low-level people will die. But because everybody seems equally important except for Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Speaking of people getting introduced, I think, if I remember right, they're going to introduce Dom's mom.
I don't want it. I don't want the Dom mom. Make it stop.
Yeah, I mean,
why are we doing this again?
You introduce a brother. Everything is about family. We've never addressed his mother. We've got his dad. It's the tragic story of his dad and what happened to him, which is what got him into all this whole life in the first place. And I think I know who the mom is, too. Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you or anybody else. So All right, I think that's about it, Betsy. Do you have anything else before we get out of here?
Why are we doing this? Why,
Because
Trent?
we love our
God damn it!
listeners, and we love ourselves.
And we secretly love the Fast and the Furious.
It's not so secret, Betsy. Reintroduce Nas Jesus to your life. Come with us to the theater and watch Fast X. We'll be right back. And we're back from Fast X. Betsy, what did you think of that one?
I would henceforth like to be addressed as Little B.
Little B?
Little B, please.
Little Betsy?
I think I like the way everybody calls little Brian Little B, so I would like to be called Little B.
I wonder why they did that. Maybe not to evoke Brian's name all that often.
I don't know, but they find ways in this movie to remind you that Brian's still alive in this universe, even if he's not here.
Yep.
That all being said, I am never, ever excited to go and see these movies. I don't know. I cannot work up the energy to go to the Fast movies. However,
but
by the time I get there, I am having like the best time.
Betsy,
these are some of the best movies I've ever seen in the theater because they're just outrageous at this point.
That's the point.
I love. They're fucking bonkers.
Betsy, I never want them to stop making these movies. In whatever capacity they are, you can reboot it with an entirely new cast after this crew is done in two more movies. Do it. I don't care. The young Fast and Furious. We talked about that in the last movie.
Let's
where
restart.
They showed the OG crew as youngins.
Yes, they did. They were in the background. They didn't really draw attention to it.
But you knew who they were.
But, they all determined their fashion style at the age of 15 and never changed.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, they didn't go bigger in any capacity from 9 as far as, like,
outlandish going to fucking space.
Yeah, outdoing something they did. But the things that they chose to do, I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. I was giggling. I was giddy the whole movie.
You had a smile on your face almost the entire way.
Because I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? I love this. Like, they're not good movies. They're not. People keep greenlighting this garbage, but they also are so self-aware at this point, that they're embracing this chaotic energy.
Well, what they're really embracing here is the history of this franchise, because they did like 2 or 3 different montages and recitals of the different antics that they have been up to over the years, and like all the different locations they've been, and all of the different people who have helped them along the way. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
And they call out the fact, like, this guy that we've never seen before who has apparently taken Mr. Nobody's place. Even though I thought Mr. Nobody was dead, he's apparently not dead because nobody in this series can actually die, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, well, and we also never saw Mr. Nobody die.
No.
We know that his plane went down.
Yes.
And that's the end of it.
That's the end of it. So apparently he might still be alive, but we don't know what's up.
He's gotta be alive.
But the guy who shows up on screen gives this speech where he is showing these high-tech clips of their humble beginnings in Los Angeles to Rio de Janeiro.
It started in 2001.
Yep.
Then they did not show up on our radar until this movie.
And he goes through the whole history of the series.
Yep.
And my favorite was he said, if it violates the laws of God and gravity, they have done it. It is a cult of cars. And I'm just like,
cars.
Yes. Everything. I just adore that they have stopped pretending that there is any basis for reality to any of this.
Betsy, they named this shadowy organization the Agency.
Yep.
You didn't have to go any further. They do not report to any kind of other government agency. They are just this shadowy organization that exists.
That sends them on missions.
In the world.
Yeah. And nobody has a name. It's Mr. Nobody, then there's Little Nobody, and then there's Little Miss Nobody.
Little Miss Nobody.
So yes, I was having a fabulous time in this movie, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Now, Betsy, we would be remiss if we did not mention the best part of this movie.
You're gonna have to be more specific, Trent. There's a lot of really insane
I'm talking
things.
about Jason Momoa having the best time of his life.
Okay, I will say he does not fit in this like at all, but he's also completely perfect. He is unlike anything that anyone has done this entire series. It's basically Jason Momoa as the Joker. He is like clinically insane, and he is tormenting everybody. He's like 2 steps, 10 steps, 25 steps ahead of everyone in this movie.
Yeah.
And he is chaotic evil if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, there's nothing like lawful or good about him.
There's
He
nothing
is
redeeming.
Just chaos.
He is just literally, at one point he was like skipping, went like, wee! As he jumps into his car. It's like, what are you doing? And it doesn't even like exactly start that way at the beginning, you know.
At the beginning, this is 10 years ago when we're having the flashback to 5.
Yep, we have to retcon how he fits into 5.
Oh, yeah.
And we get a little bit of a setup for that. And he's very straight-laced. And then he is involved in the climax of that movie where they're on the bridge and he crashes his car and goes into the water. But apparently, you know, a couple of blows to the head made him extra crazy. Plus they killed his dad.
Yeah.
So now he is going after Dom, all of his family, and anyone in the world who has ever helped them.
Yeah.
Which means we are pulling out all the stops for the finish of this series. Some people who have said they wouldn't come back, some people who shouldn't be able to come back are all fucking coming out of the woodwork. Everyone under the sun keeps showing up who I had no idea was going to cameo in this movie. I don't know how we're going to get there, but I'm in.
We're
I'm
there
on
for
board.
it. We're there for it.
I figured the movie would not end with like a conclusion because it was a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa has been pushing all the buttons, pulling all the levers.
Yeah.
Chaotic energy from beginning to end. And then he's like, okay, now you have to die. Fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah, you have suffered enough. You are going to die now. And I'm going to blow up a dam and drown you and your son.
Yeah.
So, again, the premise of this movie is there's nowhere else to go. It's just all of the consequences of their actions throughout all 10 movies are coming back to bite them.
I would like to point out they have now managed to retcon number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6.
Yes.
They have
Betsy,
completely done.
They retcon their retcon of 5 in this movie.
Yes, they did. They even keep like adding more siblings and more family members. Like you said, we were gonna get a matron of the
I said
Dom's
mother.
family.
It's actually grandma.
Yeah, they refer to her as great grandma. So I assume
great grandma of little B.
Yeah, I assume this is Dom's grandma.
Yes.
Played by Rita Moreno in one scene.
Yes.
That's it. Rita Moreno shows up to be in a Fast movie, and we don't see her again.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of conversation online about Dom's heritage. Like,
it's so confusing.
Is he Hispanic? Question mark? I don't get it.
They're Hispanic.
He certainly comes from a mixed family.
And Nordic and Filipino and Black, and they are every ethnicity that you need them to be.
Right.
Because I don't think the Toretto siblings have the same mother. I think the 3 siblings have the same dad and different mothers. That feels like the way they've set it up for this to make any kind of sense.
I don't care.
It's not really important. Like, all you have to do is look at just Dom and his girlfriend at the time, Elena, and their son to already be confused by what the hell is going on here.
Yeah, she's Brazilian, and it's really weird, but again, I don't really care.
No, not important.
It's really not.
We don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody keeps like showing up. Elena has a sister now.
Right.
We didn't know about a sister. In the earlier ones, we had one Shaw, and then the brother comes back. Everybody has a brother or a daughter. Brie Larson is Mr. Nobody's daughter. It's all about fucking family. Family, family, family.
Yeah, you're right. You just said it. Everything is about family here.
And I also couldn't help but notice that once you have officially entered this family, it fundamentally changes your entire personality, because every single person who started in this series who wasn't in the family, who is now either in or a fringe of, is very different from when they started.
Yeah, they mentioned it in the goddamn movie when Jason Momoa is going through all these people, like just listing them off, saying, you know what, even Mr. Nobody is a part of the family now.
The biggest change, of course, being fucking John Cena. John Cena in the last movie is the villain, and he's walking around acting tough.
He is the most serious beefcake of a man you've ever seen before in your life, and in this one, he's your favorite fun uncle.
John Cena showed up in this movie, because this is much more what I think of when I think of John Cena.
Yes.
He is a goofy bastard.
He is, which I don't know if he just didn't like how his character was portrayed in the first movie, in the last movie, I should say. But it makes sense. If he's going to die, he's going to have a good time.
Before he gets there. Yeah, I haven't looked into this. I knew before we went to this, somebody was going to die. I knew this because you can't avoid everything on the internet.
And this is what I refer to in the intro. I knew John Cena was going to die.
Okay,
I didn't know about anybody else.
You did know him specifically.
I did, yes.
See, I didn't. I knew that it was one of the guys or somebody, because I saw that they contributed to how they wanted to go out, basically. So I read something about, well, they decided their character should die and this is how they should do it.
They're going to sacrifice themselves.
Yes.
In this case, yeah.
So it's kind of a bummer, and it's also really kind of confusing because he just shows up and now he is your goofy fun uncle who also kicks ass, who still drives his piece of shit car from 1992 or whatever.
I love that.
And he is just being absurd. And then he's like, it's time for me to get out from your shadow. And he sacrifices himself.
Right. And he says the cheesy line of, thanks for showing me the light and like bringing me out. And he does this stupid move with his rocket car.
It's like, John Cena, just when I was starting to give a shit about you being in this movie, you gotta go do something like that.
But that's the thing. He is barely in this at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like John Cena himself was with the crew other than Mia.
Yeah, I think,
and the kid.
I think that is the only person he probably interacted with, because the rest were action sequences where they're in cars and clearly not really doing anything.
Him and Dom are not on the screen together.
They're not even in real cars on a real highway half the time.
No.
At this point, they've kind of given up real effects with the cars. We're past
it's all
that.
CGI, and I know that it's all fake, at least to a point. There are some car stunts here, but it's just gotten to the point where it's a little silly that they're putting all these cars through all these different stunts and whatever, when it is clearly not physically possible for them to pull this off.
They violate the laws of gods and gravity.
It is starting to bother me in that you cannot actually have that car go down those stairs like that and survive.
I'm sorry,
you can't
Trent,
actually have...
Trent, you don't think that Dom Toretto could drive backwards in a sports car down the Spanish Steps in Rome while being chased by a giant bomb? You don't think that's possible? I think you are fooling yourself, sir.
A flaming ball bomb.
Yeah, that wasn't enough to make it explode. And somehow the rolling put out the fire.
Right.
Because by the time it got there, it was not on fire anymore.
All of these cars are just indestructible, especially if Dom is driving it.
Have you ever seen an Alfa Romeo, Trent? Clearly it's indestructible.
Different car.
Okay, so to bring it back though, John Cena, his character died.
Yeah.
So he wasn't with us for very long. But then we have somebody who we know, quote unquote, has died from number 6. At the very end of the movie, we're in fucking Antarctica, because it's like the one place on the planet we haven't been to yet.
Yep.
And a submarine emerges from the depths, and who's on the submarine but Giselle?
It's Giselle.
It's Gal Gadot's character from number 6, who died.
4, 5, and 6.
Okay, but she died in number 6.
Yep.
In a way that, once again, seems like she should be dead. But because this is Fast and Furious, and they just will constantly find ways to just decide you're not really dead, she's there.
Well, that's the thing. They fuck around with not only the audience, but the cast as well. Han saw her die. Han is on the apps now, trying to find himself a new woman. Because you needed to be reminded that he's single, and hey, remember, they were a thing.
They were a thing. They were desperately in love with each other.
Yeah.
It was their destiny to be together. And then that was taken away from him. And then he went to Tokyo in his misery and he died. But he didn't really die because nobody dies in this series.
But that's the thing. He has lost his purpose. That girl that he was trying to protect is now safe, I guess. She didn't show up in the movie.
Nope, she wasn't in this one.
But he finally doesn't have any kind of purpose. So guess what? He's going to go get himself out there.
So now in the next movie, we get the story about how she managed to fake her own death. Because it doesn't seem like that was a planned thing she did.
It wasn't, because she was retconned as to have been working for Mr. Nobody. When they met,
for fuck's sake,
they met her in 4,
they're just gonna pull a Mr. Nobody again.
She was working for Mr. Nobody.
In number 9, they said that Han and Mr. Nobody hatched this plan and he made it look really realistic.
Yes.
Fuck me, she's working for Mr. Nobody. So in the next one, in 10-2 or 11 or whatever they're calling the next one, she's gonna have some stupid little bullshit reason.
Yes.
She survived. Well, there was a car hiding in the darkness chasing you, and I landed on it, and now
it was my clone.
I've been hiding out for years.
No, I fully believe it is going to be a clone. There's gotta be a clone in here somewhere.
We've done everything else. Why not? We haven't had an evil twin yet.
I was just gonna say, we haven't had any twins yet.
We've had lots of evil siblings, but no evil twins, and I'm just really disappointed in them for not going that far.
You know what? They should bring back the other Shaw brother too.
Yeah, he died, except maybe he didn't.
I don't know. I don't remember.
That's the thing about these. I'm starting to just completely not trust that anyone actually dies. I don't put any weight in the fact that John Cena blew himself up, because he might not really be dead if in 3 movies they can just bring him back without any real reason. They just make up some bullshit.
We had a whole conversation about the fact that The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, did not want to have anything to do with this. He was on the outs with Vin Diesel, and there was just this big fight amongst the cast, and now he's going to be coming back.
Yeah, they put aside their beefy armed beef, and now he's back in the final one because he showed up in the mid-credits.
Right, and I saw something recently in the ether that Hobbs was going to be coming back for another offshoot movie, much like Hobbs and Shaw was. Now, I understand that because then you don't have to be on screen with your mortal enemy.
Yeah, you can still enjoy the character and the property without having to deal with
and still
Vin
make
Diesel.
a fuckload of money.
Yeah, but no, he's back.
He's back in the fray.
Yeah, whatever beef they had, they got over it.
I don't know about that. Money talks, Betsy.
Fair enough. Okay, money.
Come on.
Completely dies.
His entire Black Adam MCU equivalent is dead because the movie bombed. Now he has to go back to his roots, I guess.
His day job.
His day job of just being a beefy guy.
Yep, and defying the laws of physics and punching things. I fucking knew. He's holding a cell phone. I was like, he's gonna crush that cell phone.
Of course he is.
He's like, I'm easy to find, crush.
Some bitch. That was the most labored line delivery I think I've seen.
It's like, okay, Dwayne, we just need one more take of you saying son of a bitch. And he's like, okay, some bitch. How about with feeling? Some bitch.
Some bitch.
Yeah. The only other person who shows up that we haven't seen in a while was Scott Eastwood.
Yeah.
So he was in 8? 7 or 8?
Yes,
I completely have them mixed up.
I think he's in 8, yeah.
So he shows up in that one. He wasn't in 9, but he also works for Mr. Nobody. And in lieu of him being there, we needed Scott Eastwood to come back.
I think they call him Baby Nobody.
Or they call him Little Nobody.
Or Little Nobody?
He's Little Nobody.
Okay, all right.
Just like I'm Little B.
All right.
Yeah, everybody else, it's just if they showed up, it's in a weird picture. I have such a gripe about this. Okay, so you mentioned they spend a lot of time, people are reminiscing. At the beginning of the movie, Dom's in the garage, and he has all these still photos pinned on his board of the gang from the first movie.
And they're playing the song from when Brian drove off into the sunset.
I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. Yeah, that music cue. There's also when he goes to Jason Momoa's little lair.
Yep.
He's got, as he calls it, his vision board.
His vision board, yep.
And then when I don't even remember why he was there. The girl who he saved in the drag race, who is Elena's sister.
Yeah.
He's at her apartment, and they have like pictures of Elena on the wall.
There's a shrine, yeah.
Okay, this is the problem I have. Why are they all pictures that are stills from the movie as opposed to pictures of human beings looking at the camera?
Because they don't have the rights to those, Betsy.
It's not fucking hard. You're telling me you didn't take any publicity stills like of them looking at the camera? These exist, but these are all just like somebody
just call her on
was 20 feet away.
You couldn't just call her on the phone and say, "Hey, can you just send us like a selfie or something that we can put on the wall?
One day.
We'll pay you $100. Come on."
It would have taken 25 minutes to put her in a uniform, but it's always like a weird still from the movie. Yeah. And this drove me crazy the whole movie.
All of them are stills from the movie.
That's what I'm saying. You couldn't find one fucking photo.
I have a harder time saying that because you also have to include Brian in all this stuff. There was enough shots of Brian in this movie.
And we got live action Brian because they were showing footage from 5.
From 5 and all of those other clips.
But this is just one of those movie making gripes that I have. Yeah. It's either that or they're having pictures where it's like mom and the little boy and they have to like Photoshop their faces and it looks fucking terrible.
Like
at the
beginning of Gone in 60 Seconds, they have like weird not even de-aged, but like Photoshopped pictures of Giovanna Ribisi and Nick Cage.
It looks like somebody took their faces, cut their faces out with a pair of scissors and really glued it onto someone else's body.
But speaking of photos, I think those photos of Jason Momoa towards the end of the movie, those were just younger photos of him.
God, he was hot when he was younger. He's still pretty hot.
He's still pretty hot.
But he's like just so absurd in this movie.
I love it though.
He's getting kind of like in this. Somehow he is really extra, but also dirty hippie at the same time, which is kind of his brand.
These days, yeah.
But yes, in his younger photos when he has short hair and no tattoos and no facial hair, it's wild. But yeah, you're right. Those were real pictures. So yeah, Jason Momoa supplied photos. We couldn't get some of anyone else. I fucking hate that.
Well, that's the thing about the rest of the cast, though. You have 20 years worth of photos that you could have gone back to.
That's what I'm saying. It's fucking lazy. Just give me a real photo.
I'm sure some of the... Like, there was one shot of them from the first movie where I think it actually was a publicity photo. Where it's like them in front of the house, all kind of hanging out together.
Sure. Where it looks like, okay, everyone gather around and I'm going to take out my digital camera from 2001 and take a picture and then physically print it because that's a thing that people used to do.
Yeah.
Print photos. I'm sorry, I've gone down a rabbit hole on this, but it is one of my biggest pet peeves about movie making. And in this one, it was fucking rampant. Yeah. It was rampant. There were 4 sequences. 4 that they did this. And it was just...
Again, you have the rights to all of this other footage of all of the other movies. You can just take that and you don't have to worry about the rest. You don't have to pay for the rest.
Fine. So while we're on the topic of reminiscing, there is also a moment at the beginning. They're having a barbecue at the house, as they are known to do.
As you do.
And there is an empty chair next to Mia. Mm-hmm. There is always... They drew no attention to it, but every other chair at that table is occupied.
Yep. And in all of the other movies, they are referring to Brian. Oh, where's Brian? He's on his way. And then they literally have this blue import car speeding up the driveway.
Yep.
But in this one, he's supposedly already there. But where are the other kids is my question.
That is Mia is there.
Right.
So either he's just in the house and Grandma didn't wait for him to return to make a speech.
Right.
It was really just a weird thing. But you know that was intentional because the chair is right next to Mia and it is empty.
The chair will always be at that table.
Yeah. It makes it... It's a nice thing, but it also makes it sad. I kind of wish they just
Sure.
wouldn't do anything. It's the weirdest choice they made that in the universe he's still alive. I've heard people say, how long are they going to just toe this line, or are they going to not be able to resist, and then Brian's going to have like a fucking like secret brother or somebody who comes in and it's his real brother, Paul Walker's brothers, who helped make the last one he was in.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't want them to, but at some point it feels like we're getting all these other secret family members. You almost think they're going to go there.
I don't think that's... I think that would dishonor the memory of Paul Walker.
But we're coming to the end, and I'm concerned they're going to be unable to resist even like him standing there.
I think...
And it's digital, like Carrie Fisher in Star Wars crap.
No. I fully believe that they have enough reverence for Paul Walker and his family.
I hope so.
That they would not do such a thing.
I hope so. But as we're getting closer to the end, his absence, when they draw attention to it, it just makes it feel bigger. When they could just leave it alone. Like every time they show montages and he's there, and like in this one, they show footage, he's there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me nervous that they'll do something stupid, and I don't want them to.
Well, that's the thing. They're not forgetting about him. They are still including him in the crew, but he's retired. He's not going off on the missions or whatever, the antics that they get up to. He decided to hang it up when they had kids.
But Mia hasn't had to.
Mia wasn't involved.
She was there.
She was at the house babysitting.
Fair enough. Okay, she
was not involved. They were going after her.
She tries not to be involved if she can help it.
Yes.
The last time was an exception because it was her brother.
Yes.
Fine.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all we had as far as like thoughts about the overall stuff. But I wanted to go through some moments here because this movie is full of moments. Down to the beginning of the movie where we have the retcon scene of the stuff from 5. And I just wrote down, hey, remember how awesome that chase scene was with the safe that they're towing?
I really wish I don't know. I'm sure it exists, but I feel like we should just go ahead and help people or someone help me. I need which movies to watch before you watch this Fast movie.
Yeah, because
they're doing so much retconning that I can't even remember the people that show up. And, Dom's very familiar with them. Is it because I have met this character, or it's just somebody who's friends with Dom and we've never met him before?
I see what you're saying.
Sometimes I'm
like when they go to Rio and all those people know him.
Yeah.
And
were they in the 5th one? I don't remember.
Or like, I want to see how Gal Gadot died. I want to go and rewatch 5 to see if there's any of these other scenes in there. I mean, I just want to watch 5 anyway because it's an awesome movie.
But yes, we need the guide. Like, okay, before you watch 10, you should watch number 3 and number 6.
They do that for all the Marvel movies. These are the movies that you need to rewatch to refresh yourself before you go into the next one.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna need some of that before we get into the next Fast movie.
I think they're probably going to keep everything pretty damn fresh for the remaining 2 movies because it's all a continuation. It's not new stories. It is just continuation of what they set up in this one.
But because they keep changing the stuff from the last ones, it's hard to remember.
There is no more stuff that they can change.
You would be surprised.
I guess we'll find out. But anyway, more moments. I love when they cut to LA. Number 1, the title cards of all the places that they're visiting that they cut to. Just the big text on the screen. Los Angeles. Yeah. Or Black Site, unknown location.
It's like the fucking Terminator, like boom.
Yeah. But when they cut to LA and it's the sports car fucking spinning donuts in a parking lot, you see the car stop and Dom gets out on the passenger side.
Yes.
It's like, okay, who's driving the car? And it's Little B.
He is teaching his small underage child
to drift.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
This scene freaked me out because Vin Diesel is in full dad mode and he's like, it's okay, little buddy. We just gotta learn our lessons. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
I was very weirded out by Dom as a dad.
Yeah. We got the joke about Han setting up a dating profile, and as soon as he turns it on, he's getting a whole bunch of matches right away from hot women. Yeah. We get the scene of them at home. Letty does the thing that she does in the first movie where Dom picks her up by the ass.
Yep.
And they're about to have some sexy times.
The kid's asleep.
That's right.
Hey. Also, they're apparently trying for a baby.
That's right.
It's kind of a throwaway line, but he's like, are they in there?
Right. Is somebody in there yet?
Is somebody in there?
Said, no, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen.
When she's 55 years old in this universe.
Yeah. Anyway, we have fucking Cypher show up in a DeLorean.
I didn't even know they modernized the DeLorean. When did this happen?
What the fuck?
And how can I get one?
And why would Cypher drive a DeLorean? That's my question.
Of all the cars in all the world.
Right. Who chose that?
Did you just watch Back to the Future and you thought, he's a mad scientist and I'm going to outdo him?
Or was Charlize just a fan?
I have no idea, but somebody
I don't
in this
know if
movie,
I've ever seen her drive a car in these movies yet.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
But yeah, it's like, okay, well, she needs to make her debut in a car. What would Cypher drive? A new DeLorean.
Yeah, and like, that was probably like an electric DeLorean. I think that's the new thing.
What the fuck? Someone out there, please tell me how long this has existed and what rock I've been living under.
Yeah. Speaking of her, we have the flashback scene that she's regaling to Dom and Letty.
To explain how he's the devil.
Right.
Jason Momoa
I thought I was the devil. Then I met him.
Yeah, Jason Momoa is the ultimate evil.
Yeah. He comes in just dragging a couple of bodies with him.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. When they show him, he's not in focus, and he's got a body on his left and a body on his right. I thought he was wearing really big pants.
Okay.
It looked like he had really wide legs and was walking like a cowboy. But it was two dead bodies. I was like, oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and this is introducing his crazy, his evil, where he says, okay, well, I can't convince you to give up what I want, so instead I'm going to look to this guy and this guy and this guy, all the henchmen in there, and say, hey, I'm going to have your loved one FaceTime you from an unknown location where they're tied up and gagged.
Yeah, this was a weird introductory scene, especially for where it goes the rest of the movie, because in this scene, he's really evil, just like straight up.
Yeah.
There's no humor. And then he just gets progressively more eccentric as the movie goes.
Well, it's him just saying, hey, don't forget, I have your family and I'm gonna kill them. Ha ha ha.
But he doesn't, like here, he's playing it straight. He's more evil in this part, except for the one time where he says, except for that guy. That bastard didn't even have a cat I could kidnap.
Right. So, yeah, he takes control of all these people, and then Cypher does whatever she's going to do, and the other guys turn on her. But then, all of a sudden, Cypher can fight.
She fought in the other ones.
Did she, though?
There was a scene
I don't remember.
with her and Letty, I think in number 8.
Wait, 8 is where she is introduced.
I think they fight in that one. It's just that we didn't get to see her do it in the most recent one.
Yeah.
So it's easy to forget.
But she goes full on John Wick in this scene.
She does. She's like killing her own guys, and she's, falling down an elevator shaft.
She's flipping all over the place and like double tapping guys in the face. Yeah.
She's like really good at everything she wants to be good at. Trent.
Everybody is really good at everything.
They even use the fucking joke again in this movie. I had a life before you,
Right.
They had that throwback joke to explain away how somebody knows how to do something that up to this point we've never seen them do.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of this with Cypher to say now Cypher is going to help Dom. Like, they're not friends.
It's the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing.
So she's going to help them defeat Jason Momoa.
Right.
And the only reason those two even crossed paths was because of the thing, what was it? The thing she invented? Because I haven't seen all of them except for the one time we watched them. So the God's Eye, they bring that up. That is Ramsey's device.
Correct.
But wasn't there something else that Cypher made and that's what he was going to get? Like, I don't even know exactly what he took from her in this sequence. He took, like, part of her equipment.
Yeah, he took whatever it was that she was working on there and, like, stole the nerds along with I don't really know.
Yeah, it was just pretty vague. And then later he kills the nerds.
It's like the hacker tools. I'm going to take all your hacker tools so that I can hack all these other vehicles.
And then, by the way, I don't need you anymore, so I'm going to have them kill you.
Sure.
Again, it's amazing how this simple movie is overly complicated. Because now we have so much.
There's so many of these movies where they go over so many details.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember stuff from 4 movies ago.
I mean, it's been 2 years since we've watched these movies plus.
Yeah. So it's hard if you have not been married to these movies to follow every single detail about what's going on.
Yeah. And yeah, there's this whole thing about Roman is now taking on jobs from the agency, and he doesn't, I guess, verify who he got the job from this time.
Well, they say that Tej got the inside information, so they've vetted it, and everybody seems to think it's a legit project.
But Roman was the one who was saying, I'm the leader on this mission.
Yeah, Dom let him be the team leader.
Sure.
And so he sent the 4 of them off, and he didn't even go.
To Rome. And they're trying to hijack a armored truck in transit, and there's some kind of thing inside. Microchips.
It's always microchips.
I've seen The Departed.
Except in the first one, it's DVD players.
There are microchips in DVD players.
Yes, but they
not
don't
military,
serve as much
not
value.
Military grade. Yeah, they've gotten an upgrade. But anyway, there's this fake mission where they have to steal this fucking golden Lamborghini, and Tej has this remote controlled car that Rome put a little bobblehead on.
A ludicrous bobblehead.
Yeah, a tiny Tej, as they call it. Mm-hmm. And I think it actually said, the bobblehead itself says a line from one of the other movies.
Okay, I'm going to call you Tiny Trent now.
Why?
I'm Little B and you're Tiny Trent.
Oh, no. But yeah, they go through this whole job. They hack the doors of this truck. They get inside, and then the truck itself is locked down.
It's a trap!
It's a trap. Jason Momoa is going to remotely control this truck because there's a bomb inside of it, Betsy.
And they're going to blow up the Vatican.
Well, they're going to blow up something.
The Vatican!
But there's this line of him just being crazy.
He's basically putting words in the guy's mouth, so he's still got the 2 computer geeks with him.
Yeah.
And he says, what should we do? Blow up the Vatican? You're crazy.
You're going to hell.
Meanwhile, they're helpless to do anything, so he just types in some buttons and, starts driving the truck towards the Vatican.
Yeah.
And a massive chase scene ensues.
Yeah, this extremely long action scene, happens with them trying to slow down this ball bomb, and all of a sudden it goes into a gas station, which I've never been to Rome, Betsy.
Yeah,
but do they have gas pumps on the side of the road anywhere?
You have to think about it in context of Europe is a much, much, much older place than America.
Sure.
So these cities have existed longer than the infrastructure required in modern cities.
Of course.
So yes, they just have gas at random stations throughout the city because that's where they can put them. They can't just put up a gas station in the concept
on
that
every single corner that
there
we
is
have.
no fucking corner. Everything has a 700-year-old building on it.
Right.
So yes, they do have things like that. How common they are, I don't know, but I would say that is realistic that there would be a gas pump on the side of the road.
Fair enough. But yes, it gets engulfed in flames and only gets extinguished because it goes through a fountain.
Why in the world did Dom have to say out loud, that's going to start on fire? He literally out loud before the bomb hit said, that's going to start on fire.
No, what he does is he sees the gas pumps. He knows that the ball is going to roll into it. So instead, he puts his car as a shield to the ball of something. He thinks that the explosion is going to blow up the bomb.
But why did he have to say those words out loud? We, the viewer, can see him. We can see the pump. We can see the ball rolling toward the pump. I understand how these movies work. You don't need him to say it.
Betsy, I talk to myself on occasion. I'm sure you do too. I don't have a problem with that.
It bothered me. It just felt so forced and out of character and just took me for a second out of that scene. Because the rest of the time, he's just making split decisions and he doesn't have to explain it. Like, when it looks like all is going to be lost, the ball is rolling and they're all on their little secret radio channel. And he asks how deep the river is. Oh, the Tiber, it's 60 feet, but that's not deep enough to completely stop the impact.
Yeah.
And then he sees a crane and they're like, you've done enough, get out of there. Not enough. And you know what he's gonna do. You've seen him, you see him look at the crane. I know what he's gonna do with that crane. He didn't say, I'm gonna drive into that crane.
No, I don't have a problem with it.
I have a serious problem with
because it wouldn't have made any sense for him to drive up on the thing and like put his car up as a shield to the flames.
I'm gonna be honest, Trent, none of the things in this movie make any sense.
All right, fine.
But yes, the bomb goes off and now they're all wanted terrorists. They're global terrorists and everyone in the world is after them.
And then that's the end of that storyline.
Kinda, yeah.
Like the agency is after them. They have labeled them as a terrorist organization, which, by the way, did you also see when the agency was having a vote and all of these like floating heads were up there with their different locations? When it came to LA was the first one to say no.
This shadow agency with faceless voting members. Mm-hmm. Somebody in Los Angeles is like, no, they're my guys.
They're the first ones. They're LA boys. I'm going to protect them.
I didn't catch that, no, but that whole sequence is like, who is this guy Ames?
Who is this agency, for fuck's sake?
Yeah, I don't understand why I am supposed to understand what's happening here. There are people who are voting. There's a board. Why do we need to have a board meeting for this?
And like, who elected this guy? Who is this guy? You said it.
I thought that man must be a wrestler and I don't follow wrestling. So, he's just somebody I haven't heard of. No,
he's just an actor.
He's just a beefcake actor.
Yeah.
He's a hunk of meat to be a hunk of meat.
To be amongst other hunks of meat.
Welcome to the meat shop.
Well, speaking of shops, when the other crew, the kind of remote crew who was already in Rome, when they have to escape, they escape in this container ship. They make it all the way to London, and they try to get some kind of hardware. They need cars, they need weapons. So where do they go, Betsy?
They go to Pete Davidson.
They go to an internet cafe
that's
owned and operated.
A front for Black Ops.
By Pete Davidson?
Run by Pete Davidson.
What the fuck?
I don't know. He was in the one scene, and he's a bastard.
Back when Pete Davidson was, like, going to be everywhere. Like, he left SNL. He got cast in a bunch of commercials. He got his own movie. And yeah, he's just been getting cast in a lot of different, very small things.
This is the stuff he shows up in now.
Yeah.
Why not?
Whatever, he's a fan. But he's like this nerd.
But he's also a super genius hacker.
Yeah. And this is also after they find out that, all of our money in all of our accounts has been stolen.
Transferred to mercenaries.
And like distributed out to different mercs around the world. And they are tasked by Jason Momoa to go after the crew, the family, and anybody else who is tangentially related. They even put up fucking Eva Mendes's picture.
Yeah, she hasn't been back since her cameo in 4.
Right.
When are we gonna bring her back?
I want her to come back.
Come back, Ava. We miss you.
Yeah. But we also have the more scene in the shop here. When they're talking about the money, they're saying, I need to like decrypt the blockchain. And when Pete Davidson is talking about like, hey, you need to pay me, none of that cryptocurrency shit. Pay me in cold hard cash or something like that. And they're bringing up this, like the blockchain is all having to do with crypto. And we on this podcast are very much against cryptocurrency and NFTs and all that other bullshit. And I'm glad they did not go further in that direction.
He just wants money.
Listen to Pete Davidson. Do not trust crypto.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Anyway, we have the joke about the pot muffin, and I think that went a little far.
Literally, they just needed an excuse to show Han eating food.
Yeah.
This is where this movie is just like going off the rails completely.
Yeah.
They say don't eat the muffin. Han eats the muffin, and then we get a moment of Han tripping on the muffin.
Right.
From his perspective in the middle of the movie, and then it's over. Just a moment.
While Tej and Roman are like fake fighting on the floor.
Well, they're really fighting, but I was a little confused as to what the fuck Roman was like blowing powder and throwing powder.
Where
did that come from?
What is this powder? Is it like the dust from this shop?
I don't know. I missed it completely, or he has pockets full of dust.
I don't know.
Just for these moments.
I completely missed that. If you know what that is, please email us and explain it to us. I completely missed it. But yeah, Pete Davidson narked on them, so they have to run out, and they have to go to the one person that they haven't met yet, Jason Statham, which is the scene from the end of 9. It is inserted into the middle of this movie as, okay, this is where Han comes in.
So it's not retconning so much as we're picking up that scene where we left it.
It's almost like when they did the scene at the end of the first Captain America movie, where he's in the present and he's just hitting the punching bag and Fury comes in and talks to him. They take that scene and put it into the first Avengers.
I'm sorry, are you telling me that the Fast series ripped off Captain America?
Yes.
Sons of bitches.
They ripped off the MCU.
How dare they? They also ripped off Back to the Future a little bit because, people showing up at the door and saying, Marty, we need to go back. Come with me with my DeLorean that was in this movie.
Yes. Oh, what else? We also, of course, go back to Rio. We have Dom being introduced yet again as like the most popular person in all of Rio.
In street racing,
at least
anyway.
Amongst this people. Again, it's like it's the first movie again, where everybody's just partying and having a good time and like being in racing.
And this is the first movie for a while where we've had a drag race.
Right, and we had a real-ass drag race with 4 people. We have the same scene of the camera kind of pulling all the way out through all of the windows as they're up at the line. I mean, it's very much harkening back to the first movie.
It's the signature shot of the Fast series.
And speaking of signature shots, I have to say this again. At the very end of the movie, we're going to come back to Rio, but at the very end of the movie when Dom is rocketing down the fucking dam.
He's launched off a dam and now he's driving down it.
He hits the NOS button and it does the same CG thing where you can see the camera CGing through the car, going all the way through the tubes and out the exhaust. That
is straight up 2001
fuck yes.
Nonsense.
Yes. Anyway, back to Rio. We have the race where Jason Momoa, his name is Dante. I don't like the name Dante for him.
Also the fact that he kept saying, my name is Dante and Shantae. He rhymed.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't get that.
He made a rhyme. He said Enchante a few times, and the first time he did it was he rhymed his own name.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
It's very stupid. But yes, he rigged the other 2 cars to blow, and Dom goes to the rescue.
He's a Batman villain. You have to choose.
That's
Who
right.
do you choose?
That's right. He is the Joker. But in this case, there's no saving the one dude. He's going to try to save her because Momoa says, you know what, I'm going to kill both of them, fuck you.
Well, and he tries to save her because he knows just by looking at her face that that's her sister.
Right. And we really cannot get out of here without talking about Jason Momoa's crazy wardrobe.
Oh, his silk shirts and his little robes.
He shows up in Rio wearing this, like, purple pajama suit that is like billowing everywhere. He wears all sorts of billowy clothing.
Yes, it's a lot of silk tops and linen pants. But then he also wears like leather jackets.
And there's that one scene of him being fucking crazy when he's stealing all the money. He's got his hair up in like Mickey Mouse buns.
And he's wearing a bathrobe.
He's wearing a robe, and he's talking to these corpses.
Painting their toenails.
Painting their dead toenails.
Okay, that was like the freakiest thing in this movie. Because he has taped their eyes open and into, like, their faces are taped in expressions.
Right.
And you can hear the flies buzzing because they're very, very dead.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you're so bad.
No, pay attention. Pay attention.
While he's painting. Now, let those dry.
Right.
And then I'm going to go take a shower. Like, there are genuine moments where he is terrifying in this movie.
But that's the thing. I love his character. He is having so much fun, and Yeah, I don't care that he's evil.
I guarantee people have an opinion and say he's doing a terrible job in this movie. I disagree.
Oh, no.
I think this is...
He fits perfectly.
Top-notch, crazy...
Yes.
Absurdity.
You need to... You cannot have an over-the-top villain like you have had in other of these movies.
They're too serious and they all lose, and we get it. When you get one that's really fun and just straight up crazy, he doesn't lose.
There's even a line here where it's almost like, I just want to watch the world burn.
Yes.
There's even a line like that.
He's their Joker.
He is the Joker.
He is the Joker of the Fast universe.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just goofy. And there's even a line when we go back to the bridge scene where he says, oh, I brought you back to where my dad died and blah, blah, blah. He's like talking to Dom and he says, you butthole.
He calls him a butthole. Or like later he's like, did you throw a helicopter at me? You're crazy.
Right. Oh, yeah, I cannot wait until the next one just to see where else they take that character. But anyway, that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about as far as the big scenes here. I know you've got some stuff to talk about, so take it away.
Just a couple of small things. So John Cena's character takes Lil B, and they travel to Portugal, and that's, super short-lived. But when they are on the airplane, they have to get off of the airplane so they can't be tracked. And he's been carrying around what looks like a kayak, but it's secretly a tiny plane.
Right? It's like a glider plane.
He has a tiny plane
that has a rocket inside of it. But of course, before they get off, they were in the middle of watching Minions.
They were watching Minions.
Yep.
There's also a scene on the bridge where Dom lifts an entire car with one arm.
Yeah. I have seen some thoughts about that particular thing saying, what the fuck are you talking about? That is a full-ass car. Sports. It's not like a cheap-ass, little car.
It's a muscle car.
That is a muscle car.
And
he could not do that.
He could, because he's made of muscle. And
Even though he's not actually made of the most muscle out of the entire crew, because there's probably 3 or 4 other guys more muscly than Vin Diesel. And younger. Vin Diesel is 55.
He's gonna be fucking 60 by the time
they're all done here.
Jesus fucking Christ. He drops out of a plane and he lands on 2 cars while within his car. Yep. And then he is shot by 2 different helicopters with a wire that are trying to pick him up. But instead he uses gravity against them and he brings 2 helicopters to the ground, as you can do. The thing we didn't touch on, at the end, it looks like the team on the airplane is going to come and, save the day when he's on the dam.
Right.
But the plane gets shot down and you see a massive explosion. So you are led to believe the team is dead. But of course you didn't see it. So it's Fast and Furious. They're all still alive. They made a miraculous escape somehow.
Of course.
We won't worry about that. The Ames guy, in a twist no one saw coming, he's actually with Jason Momoa. So.
Right. And I was going to say the character turn of him, while they're in this armored car, when they get onto the bridge and it gets blown up, and his character turn to say, oh, I'm actually on your side now, Dom. If they let that stay, that would have been, nuh-uh, not for me.
I also like how they kind of almost retcon the retcon, because they show the scene at the beginning where they take the safe in Rio de Janeiro and Jason Momoa is standing there and they stop. And then at the end of the movie, they show that scene again and then Ames comes out.
That's what I was referring to when they retcon the retcon.
Yeah, it's that thing of, I was there the whole time. You just didn't see me. And then, they drive off a dam and his little boy and him are about to be drowned by the explosion. Mm-hmm. And I just wrote down, this is why you should teach your children to swim. Because you never know when you're going to have to drive them off a cliff, off of a dam, into the water. You never know.
Yeah. And then possibly escape an exploding mass of water.
Yeah. But we don't know how they're going to make the miraculous escape. Because that's the cliffhanger.
Remains to be seen, Betsy, in part 2. Fast X, part 2.
It's either going to be 11 or it's going to be part 2. I genuinely don't know.
No, it is Fast X part 2.
10-2.
10-2.
It's just like Final Fantasy.
Some might say a superior Final Fantasy game.
Final Fast Fantasy So Furious 10-2.
You got it. All right, Betsy. Any more thoughts before we get out of here?
My God, these movies are insane.
Speaking of insane movies, we are going to read a couple emails here. If you would like to send us an email about this movie, or any movie that we have covered or are yet to cover, or a movie that you would like us to cover, email us at neverseenitpod@gmail.com. We got a couple emails a while back when we were doing our Hacker series, and by golly, we got a couple emails about the last movie we covered called Hackers.
One of them came before we actually watched the movie because we said, which one's missing, guys?
Oh, gee, which one could we possibly do with a series called Hackers? Anyway, so this one comes in from Sergio. Now, Sergio emailed us a long time ago when we covered E.T., and he had a big obsession with Drew Barrymore. And so coming in from Sergio with the subject line, hack the planet or stay in the swimming pool. Dear Betsy and Trent, as well as Stephanie. And of course, he wrote Betsy and Trent and Stephanie with like the numbers as letters
Hacker
thing,
coding
as
language.
Hackers would. Are you a hacker, Sergio?
It's like that new Expendables movie where there's they replaced an E with a 4.
You know, they do that all the time. Anyway, after a jolt of capital,
We were
see what they get there?
talking about Jolt.
Jolt Cola. Yep. I splurged on a bigger TV, mainly because after 20 years of 32 inches, my eyes needed some relief. Congratulations.
Bravo.
Bravo. The thing I've always been told about buying televisions in this era is buy the biggest TV that you can afford. It doesn't have to be the best TV. Because
or even the biggest in the market.
There are a lot of different levels of quality that you can get with a screen. Buy the biggest one that you can. That you can, feasibly fit on your wall or in your apartment or your house or whatever else. We did not follow that rule. We have a very, very nice TV that's 65 inches. So anyway, we're on the low end as far as I'm concerned. We could fit an 85.
We're not getting an 85 inch. We're not getting it, Trent.
We could fit an 85
I don't
inch TV
care if
down
we
here.
can fit it. We're not getting it. Stop asking me.
Anyway, back to the email. Only 5 years after the movie with the humanitarian and the magician did I get a job at an internet provider where part of my job involved trying to circumvent the normal methods for using the provided hardware and software.
So trying to figure out if people could get around what they were supposed to be using?
Seems that way.
Okay.
I didn't get all of it right, but I surely had fun with a tray of specific brand of highly caffeinated cola under my desk. The thing about like computer guys and hackers and everything else and drinking caffeine is very much a thing.
You're at a computer staring at numbers and letters
You're not
for ages.
expelling any kind of calories by doing anything other than working your brain. And your brain needs to sleep eventually. But you know what keeps you awake? Caffeine. Anyway. He says, I can remember seeing the movie a couple of times, but I never remembered any of the character names or plot. It could be my memory or the number of visual distractions in this highly too realistic classic.
Clearly, it's very realistic.
Right. Still enjoying the movie, though. And with my new investment, I will watch it again this weekend and a week before Angelina's 48th birthday. She's younger than Drew Barrymore.
She's younger than I think people realize because she got started so young.
It's
and
true.
Same with Drew Barrymore.
Like, she was like 19 in this movie.
She was very young.
Yeah. Anyways, I have just one question. Have you seen the movie Dead Poets Society? It was one of the late, great Robin Williams' stellar performances that had a great impact on my life. And by the way, you should do a Robinathon. I do not believe I have seen Dead Poets Society.
No, Trent. I have, obviously.
I feel like it's possible that I have a long time ago.
Like you saw it one time.
Like in school where I wasn't
maybe.
really paying attention. If I have, it's been decades, like 30 years.
But I support doing a Robin Williams thing. We talk like when we try to do these actor marathons.
Yeah.
It's always somebody who's been around a long time and you could do it by the decade.
Right.
And he would certainly qualify.
He'd be up there. Like, we've got some ideas for some other actors. We had not considered Robin Williams. So.
No, but that's a great choice.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. Like, I want to see, like, it's Insomnia and 1 Hour Photo.
His dark early
the
2000s
dark
stuff.
Yeah, I want to watch that. And, like, a lot of his, like, early 2000s and 90s comedies like Jack and Patch Adams are really, really cheesy. I've seen those movies. They're not good.
They're not for you anyway.
No.
But he was a risque comedian of his time,
yeah.
so he's done a lot of interesting work.
Anyway, back to the email. This movie should have had such an impact on me, but somehow it just fizzled out as a fad. Maybe because I was too mature when it came out. Anyway, thanks for the great podcast that keeps me entertained, sometimes more than the movies themselves. Regular fan, Sergio. Thank you, Sergio. That's very nice of you. Before we go, however, we do have another email from Stephanie about the same movie we're talking about, Hackers. She says, "Yay, Hackers! The most 90s tech nerd movie ever. I watched this movie in college. It is really fun. As a 36-year-old woman, I hate that crop tops are back in style."
I literally saw someone at a concert we went to last night at a distance wearing a crop top. And for the band we were seeing, I'm like, either she's too old for a crop top or she's too young to know this band.
Yeah. And like you're just over there having a great time because you have imbibed, let's say. Anyway, oh God. She says, "I love Matthew Lillard." You can clip that out. "He is a big old weirdo." No, I can't get behind him.
You're not going to support
I'm
this.
never going to support this. I'm sorry, Stephanie.
We saw him in a trailer today. He's coming back for you, Trent.
God damn it. All right. How many love stories start off with a prank war?
So many. So many.
Clearly, Betsy, you and I just got together because
we hated each other.
Just a series of pranks and
misunderstandings.
And then we ended up in a swimming pool on top of a building.
And then we realized we had so much in common and maybe aren't so different after all.
No, I realized I can't swim.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
That little thing.
She says, "So I remember the cast, certain pranks, hack the planet, and that's about it. I do not have any memory of the actual plot." So supposedly Bill Gates also, quote, hacked the scheduling system at his school so that he would be one of the only guys in his classes. I guess so he would be the only viable option? Creepy. I have heard that before.
I have not.
Yeah. Anywho, Hackers is fun, but not great. Agreed. Last night we watched Peter Pan and Wendy. It was pretty good. They updated Wendy's and Tiger Lily's characters. I appreciate the attempt to take such a classic and keep the spirit, but adjust what is now problematic. Love you guys, from Superfan Stephanie.
I've heard that new Peter Pan is not great, so I'm happy to always hear when movies are just like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, it's good. They tried something at least.
Right, and when it's a movie that you're just going to put on Disney Plus and not even try to put in theaters, it's probably not that great, but
maybe not.
Something that a kid is going to like.
Yeah, put it on. It's something to watch.
Sure.
Pass a couple hours. Move on with your life.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Stephanie, and to Sergio for sending in emails this go-around. If you would like to be like them and have your email read on the show, you can do it anonymously if you want. We don't have to read your name. If you want to just say the Fast and Furious series is hot garbage, I would respect that.
And agree with you.
I mean,
for
a different reason.
But also, you're not wrong, but you're right, but you're wrong.
Yes. Email us, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Follow us on all of our social media pages. All the links are in the episode description of every single episode we do, along with a link to go to our Spotify page to help support the show financially. Throw us a buck or two, and you can keep this train rolling. Or keep gas in the car, let's say. Let's just say that.
Buy a can of NOS. Go rolling down a dam.
I've never had NOS before. Have you?
No, why
you've
would
never
I?
had an energy drink before. What am I talking about?
I was talking about like the stuff that drives your car.
No,
but okay.
No, you said can of NOS. That's what I'm talking. Anyway, support the show. Also, go on to your favorite podcasting app of choice. Rate us 5 stars. It takes 2 seconds. And speaking of podcasting app of choice, going forward, if you're not already listening to us on Spotify, switch it up. Go over to Spotify if you don't mind. It'll help grow the numbers over there so that we can maybe get some other stuff going here. So that is the end of the show for now. We will be back with another episode of an Indiana Jones movie coming up on Sunday. We're going hot and heavy with those until the end of the month when we're going to go and see Dial of Destiny. We literally just had a trailer for that in this here Fast movie.
Right before this movie started.
Yes. So anyway, continue along with those. We will be back to you next time with another episode of Never Seen It. My name is Trent.
My name is Betsy.
And we'll catch you next time.
Vroom vroom!